Arriving at the snow-clad moor that sloped down to Felwyn's Gate, the company surveyed the grim scene before them. A multitude of half-starved refugees. Human folk, lizard men, elven, the many peoples of Teleria, all camped in the frozen mud outside the battlements of the Great Gate, now barred. Ogren and Skinwalker guards were denying them entry, telling them to clear off back to their homelands. The company agreed to force their way through and unbar the passage.
Chapter 5, let's go. Alaz the Sunbearer is, indirectly, the hero of the Great Solar Crisis, a myth motif found within several Telerian human cultures, including the peoples of Frostheim, Portwraith, the Deadlands, and the Kroken Desert. Though the details vary extensively, two elements link the tales across time and culture: the sun of Teleria being disrupted, and a savior arising through the fusion of a Jotun and a human of the culture telling the tale. The similarities arise from the secret, imperfectly kept, of Alaz's presence upon Teleria. In the Frostheim tale, the sun's rays became pale and wan, and the whole world began to freeze. The Deadlanders say the sun, like a pastured animal, escaped and needed to be retrieved. The Kroken version claims the sun hurtled toward Teleria and scorched the land, incidentally creating the desert. In the old Nor legend, the sun, conceived of as both a singular powerful warlord and a warlike nation-state, decided to raid and plunder Teleria after years of gazing at it covetously from the skies. These solar crises are a mythologization of a very real crisis that may never be resolved, merged with tales originating far into the depths of the Grey Age. The Scourge of Darkness, Cyretha's terrible spell powered by the darkness deep in Teleria's core, gives rise to skinwalkers and the undead. The true cause of the buildup of darkness Siroth exploited was the freezing of the waters of life, which once produced a fawn of light which counteracted the darkness inherent to Teleria's depths. Not knowing the truth, generations of Telerians seeking to make sense of the Scourge's effects reinterpreted it as a crisis of the sun, source of warmth and life on Teleria's surface, and a metaphor for Lamaya's grace since ancient times. The mythic catastrophe is answered by a pair of heroes who ultimately fuse into one being. The Old Nor called that being Aurkfirthas. Their descendants in Portwraith remember him as Alk, Thaz, and in the Deadlands he is Alkaz the Wrangler. In Frostheim candles are lit for Saint Altaz of the Great Thaw, though few know his full liturgies. The nomads of the Kroken Desert know him as Aiazaz, who carries the sun's blazing orb across the sky each day. The true identity of this culture hero is Alaz the Sunbearer, whence these varying names originate. The Lightbringer Alam, a being of flaming, shining justice, believed that he could carry a mote of sacred sunlight and plant it like a seed upon Teleria to thwart the Scourge of Darkness. He feared it would be blasphemous for a created being to meddle with divine energy, but his heart so ached to see the spell ended that he acted anyway, though he tried to keep his mission a secret. The immortal, extraplanar Lightbringers cannot exist on Teleria without inhabiting a Telerian body in a fashion similar to Cyretha's demon spawn. What mortal form could house both a radiant Lightbringer and a powerful, miniature sun? Alam found a match in the noble, pious Jotun of fire, Azza, a name that the oldest and wisest Jotun of modern times, such as Alton the Red Grandfather, still esteem. Heeding the Arbiter's call for holy vessels, Azza traveled to her portal to the halls of eternity to volunteer to become a Lightbringer, and was sought out by Alam. When Alam blended his being with that of Azza, the two became Alaz. To accommodate the tremendous power Alam wanted to bring back to Teleria with him, they could not inhabit a single, stable form as most Lightbringers and demon spawn do. Instead, they shifted between a luminescent being, when the burden of the inner sun was too great to bear otherwise, and a less conspicuous form. The power was so great that it snapped Alaz's axe when he took his lambent form. The Nor, the Kroken nomads, the Deadlanders, and the Frostheimers all imagined their own heroic ancestors in the role of the Lightbringer.
They emerged victorious on the other side and opened wide the colossal gate to let